Okay. Yes, it shakes. So, yes. All right. Oh, let's see. That spot right there belongs to my computer. No. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome, one and all. Welcome those who are just curious. Welcome to those who are following Richard James Mathematics Resources on TikTok. Welcome to those who are following on YouTube. Welcome to those who join on both platforms. And of course to those who are on both platforms, a big thank you to you all. Thank you for joining, thank you for sharing, thank you for telling others. And of course, I imagine that as I continue today, you are going to be participating. Nice. So we started the solution of a quadratic equation by factorization. And as I said before, it's an applied topic. It's just an applied topic because we have done the solution of equations already, and also we have done factorization up to and including trinomials. So we can factorize and we can solve an equation, put those two together, and we are able to solve a quadratic equation by factorization. And that is what we are going to do immediately. Now, the topic that you see on the board, of course, is not, you know it's not related to what you are doing. So it would be vain for you to ask me if we are doing a new topic. So what I'll do, I'll put the first exercise. We have done an exercise on Monday, and we're going to do the other exercises today, inclusive of a portion of your homework. Yes, we're going to do a portion of your homework. I'll do the odd numbers, and the even numbers will be left for you to do. Alright, so the first thing that I'll do is I'll take my old manual. Yes, the algebra is pretty much, or maybe the only manual that is transferable to the new. That's nice, man. Quadratic equations. And we are doing this by factorization. And pay attention to these problems because we're going to do them in a second. Maybe you can do them already. And that is your number 4. I'm looking where to put the other two. I'll find a location for them. Let's go. So the first thing that we'll do is factorize the trinomial. What two numbers multiply to give a -3, and when we add them, we get a -2. Notice that the coefficient of x squared is 1, so we may just write the factors down and then write the answers. Let's go. They multiply to give a -3 and they add to give a -2. See how many trinomials we have factorized and continue to factorize? Yes, we are continuing to factorize trinomials. Because once you have done a topic in mathematics, be prepared to continue with it forever. And when I say forever, that's what I mean. Let's go. No answers yet. The two numbers have a product of -3 and a sum of -2. I see movement on the screen. I hope suggestions are coming up. That's nice. No answer so far. Well, I'll supply the answer. So we are going to say x minus 3 is equal to 0. To eliminate this -3, we just add 3. So a +3 will go there. X plus 1 is equal to 0. To eliminate this +1, we subtract 1. X is equal to 3 and -1. Move merrily to the next one. In this case, the product is 4 and the sum is 5. What two numbers have a product of 4 and a sum of 5? Let's go with the factorization of that trinomial. I think that I'm seeing an answer there. A +4 and a +1. So we'll have what? X plus 4 with x plus 1. And of course, we're going to say this one is equal to 0. If this one is equal to 0, x plus 4 is equal to 0. If x plus 4 is equal to 0, what do? We will eliminate this +4 by subtracting 4. So x is equal to a -4. And of course, if x plus 1 is equal to 0, then we'll eliminate this +1 by subtracting 1. And it's going to be subtracted on the other side also. So x is equal to -4 and -1. If I give you the answer for this, I'm pretty much giving away the answer for this. Because what I'm about to say is that we know that this is a model problem, right? And you know the model that we are talking about. The model that we are talking about is when the sum is greater than the product, one of the numbers is 1, right? When the sum is greater than the product, one of the numbers is 1. Right here, what do we say? A product of 6 and a sum of negative 7. So we have a product of 6 there and a sum of negative 7. So what do we say? No answer as yet? Well, I'll take that one also. This is another model, the same model as this one, where the sum is greater than the product. Oh, there it is. Not quite. Not quite. I'll give you a second go on it. You say it's a positive 6 and a negative 1. I'll give you a second go on it. All right? No one is taking another shot at it, so let's go. All right. So notice that I'm going through the final details for the first 4. When I get to the next 4, no final detail. Zip. So of course, we're going to say x minus 6 is equal to 0. If x minus 6 is equal to 0, we will eliminate this negative 6 by adding 6. So we'll have a positive 6 there. And if x minus 1 is equal to 0, we'll be eliminating this negative 1 by adding 1. And of course, this is a continuation from what we had on Monday. What about this one? The product is negative 10 and the sum is positive 7. Any answer for that one? A product of negative 10 and a sum of positive 3. A product of negative 10 and a sum of positive 3. What are your two numbers? Negative 10 and 13. When you multiply negative 10 and 13, you will not get a negative 10. Ten and a negative 3, 5. and negative 2. That sounds sensible to me. 5 and negative 2. So we'll have what? X plus 5, x minus 2 is equal to 0. So x is equal to, what do we say? X plus 5 is equal to 0. We will eliminate positive 5 by subtracting 5. So we'll have a negative 5 on the right. And also, x minus 2 is equal to 0. We'll eliminate this negative 2 by adding 2. So we'll have a negative 5 and a positive 2 for our answer. Now, we'll not look at the final details for these, because we have done that for the first 4. Let's continue. Well, that one will turn out to be nice. That's right. So what will we have here? The numbers have a product of 15 and a sum of 8. This one is one of your favorites. What do we say? That one is one of your favorites. A product of 15 and a sum of 8. You cannot miss with that one. No negative signs, positive 5 and positive 3. So it's going to be x plus 5, x plus 3. So x will be equal to negative 5, negative 3. Here we have now a product of negative 18 and a sum of negative 3. 2, 5. For number 6, we have a product of negative 18 and a sum of negative 3. What are the two numbers? Negative 6 and a positive 3 is correct. So x is equal to a positive 6 and a negative 3. Finish up. One says one or the other. But when you put it on the graph, it is not one or the other. It's both of them. Right, so on the graph, it's not one or the other. It's both. It has two roots. Let's continue. The numbers of a product of negative 21 and a sum of positive 4. A product of negative 21 and a sum of positive 4. A product of negative 21 and a sum of positive 4. Negative 7. Anybody with another one? Negative 7 and a positive 3. I hope that you're answering the question that I asked and not giving me the final answer. So I'm hoping that you're answering the question that I asked and not giving me the final answer. So it's yes, it is x. It's going to be x plus 7 with x minus 3. And of course, x will be a negative 7 from that one and a positive 3 there. And this is your favorite. A product of positive 32 and a sum of negative 12. A product, yes, a product of negative 22, sorry, let me say that again. A product of positive 32, a product of positive 32 and a sum of negative 12. Not yet? That's a very good attempt. It's a very good attempt, but I need a better result. Let's see. Negative 8 with a negative 4. X minus 8, x minus 4. So you know that your results will be x is equal to 8 and a positive 4. All right. So that is your second exercise. The first one you did that last week. This is your second exercise. And you imagine that I'm going to go to a third exercise before I start to help you with your homework. So Here's my, yes, that's nice. Let's go. Your favorite trinomial. Let's see what you make of it. The second exercise now. Number 1. 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 is equal to 0. 2. I have to give it some more space on this occasion. 3x squared plus 7x plus 2 equals 0. 3x squared plus 7x plus 2 equals 0. I don't think I'm going to put a third one on it. No, sir. Therefore, I should put this one down a little bit more. 2. 3x squared plus 7x plus 2 equals 0. Right. So I should put that down a little bit more. Three. 4x squared minus 24x plus 4x squared minus 24x plus 35 is equal to 0. 4. 6x squared plus 11x minus 10 is equal to 0. 6x squared minus 11x minus 10 minus 11x, I think it's minus 10, is equal to 0. If it is not, if it is plus 10, it's easy to change. It's plus 11x plus 11x minus 10. 5. I'm going to look and see. Yeah, 5 and 6 will be fine. 5 will say what? 3x squared minus 5x minus 2 equals 0. 3x squared minus 5x minus 2 equals 0. Let's see if the 0 is out of the bright light. That will work, I think. And then number 7, number 6. Number 6. For x squared minus 13x plus 10 is equal to 0. I think number 6 is more in the clear than that one. And I'm going to put number 7 right beside it. Number 7. 3x squared plus x minus 2 equals 0. 3x squared plus x minus 2 equals 0. So we have all 7 of them that we intend to do on the board immediately, right away, at the same time. What do we say therefore? Two, 3, 6. The ones that we did just now. Yes, the ones that we did just now. The coefficients of x squared equals 0. Sorry, equals 1. The coefficient of x squared equals 1. So we just go straight ahead and factorize them in one step. But these, the coefficient of x squared not equal to 0. So we'll say what? 2 times negative 3. The product is negative 6. And the sum is positive 5. Yes. The product is negative 6 and the sum is positive 5. 4 times 1 is 6. I hope that's not in response to the one that I just asked. the product is negative 6 and the sum is positive 5. What are those two numbers? Students, when you're giving your answer, give them with the correct sign. Yes. So I have here the correct answer with the correct sign. That's nice. So we have now plus 6x minus x minus 3. And of course, it is time to factorize by grouping. So students, by the time we are through today, you will see every kind of factorization. You will see factorization by grouping. You will see basic trinomial. You will see extended trinomial. You will see the fundamentals of factorization. You will see basic factorization. You will see difference of two squares. Every single one of them. So you're going to see immediately how important it is to capitalize on the earlier topics. Because if you miss out on the earlier topics or you took them lightly, then here is the proof of the pudding. So we are going to take our common factors. So first we'll take the common factor from here. What's the common factor of, well, it's going to be the highest common factor of 2x squared and 6x. 2x squared and 6x. 2x squared and 6x. The highest common factor. That's what I'm in search of. Two x. So we have 2x is our common factor. 2x into 2x squared. The 2 will cancel and x into x squared is x. Plus 2 into 6 is 3 and the x's will cancel and we close our brackets. Anybody want to tell me the common factor next for this? A negative x and a negative 3? What's the highest common factor? Surely we will begin with the what? The sign that begins the second pair, which is a negative sign. Thank you very much. A negative 1. We don't see any flamboyant highest common factor there or any common factor at all. So we choose 1 as our common factor and it is correct. So negative 1. So anything that we divide by 1 is the same thing. And do not forget that when we are dividing, what will happen? Negative into negative is positive. And we'll finish up by saying what? The highest common factor is x plus 3 and the other factor is 2x minus 1 equals 0. And now we'll write down the answer. X is equal to something. Now, of course, for the first 4, we will take a look at the final detail. And then we will not take a look at the final detail. And then when I'm going to do a part of the homework, no final detail. So in the early goings, you need to pay special attention. Let's go. What do we say now? X plus 3 is equal to 0. If x plus 3 is equal to 0, all we need to do is eliminate this positive 3 by subtracting 3 and we are done. Minus 3. That's all. Here now, 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. Now we'll eliminate this negative 1 by adding 1. So we'll have a positive 1. But we have 2x, therefore we need to eliminate the 2. So we eliminate the negative 1 by adding, so we'll have a positive 1, and then we'll eliminate the 2 that we have here by division. So we'll have 1 over 2, which is your half. So x is equal to negative 3, and of course, a half. Here's one of your favorite. Your model problem again. Negative 3 and 1. We see the negative 3 and we see the 1. But do not forget that when you eliminate this 1, negative 1, and you get 1, you also need to eliminate the 2 that is multiplying right here. So you'd have to divide by 2. So it is 1 over 2, or a half. The next one, your model problem is coming up. 3, 2, 6. The product is 6 and the sum is 7. So what are the two numbers? 3x squared plus 2 is equal to 0. The product is 6 and the sum is 7. What are the two numbers? This one is one of the simpler ones, I would imagine. And maybe if you want to ask why it should be so simple, then I'll give you 2 reasons, not just one. Right, 6, 1. The first reason for it to be simple is that there is no negative sign in the problem, so there is no negative numbers to use. And 2, you know that it's a model problem. Whenever the sum is greater than the product, one of the numbers is 1. Plus 6x plus x. And of course, we will go straight ahead by factorizing the trinomial. What's the common factor of 3x squared and 6x? What is the highest common factor of 3x squared and 6x? (3x). So let's go. Take out the common factor of 3x. 3 will cancel 3 and x into x squared is x. 3 into 6 is 2 and the x's will cancel. Going by analogy, there is no visible common factor. Come on, don't do that. There is no visible common factor, so the common factor is 1. And of course, there is no problem because the signs are all positive. X and 1 into 2 is 2 equals 0. So what do we say for this one? The common factor is x plus 2. The other factor is 3x plus 1. And then we find the values of x. Don't make the same mistake that you made the last occasion. I'm going to give you a second and a half to write the answer down for this. Anybody ready yet? Whether you write it down or not, I'm going to discuss it, but I'm not going to discuss them past number 4. Wonder if I'm seeing right. Kinda. Negative 2 and 1 over something. Alright, that's nice. Students, you have to exercise presence of mind. You have to exercise presence of mind. If we have a positive 2 here, we have to eliminate this 2 by subtraction. So it must be a negative 2 that will go here. Right? I am not disturbed by it dividing by 2, because that's a mistake that I would probably make under certain circumstances. So the divide by 2 there should not be. Maybe if you started at the beginning, you wouldn't be saying that, because you go to the beginning, and of course, if you practice, one of these days I'm going to bring one of my musical instruments down here and play a little piece for you. I would want to put the harp all the way up here, because I'm going to sit down right here with it. You're not going to see, but it's maybe too high. Negative 2 and, all right, let's go back to this one. 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. The first thing you eliminate is this one by subtraction. So you subtract the 1 minus 1. After subtracting 1, you have 3x. If you have 3x, you'll have to eliminate the 3 by division. So it's going to be a negative third, like that. Like that. You'll have to eliminate the 1, and then you'll divide by 3. Let me see what to make of this one. I don't think I just need to put the 35 so far. Let's see what to make of that one. The two numbers have a product of 4 times 35. Some students, 4 times 35 seem to be a little. So what do? Don't say 4 times 35 then. Say 2 times 35. And then when you get the answer, you say 2 times that. So instead of saying 4 times 35, you say 2 times 35 is 70. And then 2 times 70 is 140. So 4 times 35 is 140. The two numbers have a product of 140 and a sum of negative 24. I am not doing that one. A product of positive 140. Positive 140 is the product, and the sum is negative 24. What are those two numbers? I'm thinking that the problem should be as simple as I would like it to be. And that is why I would figure out the numbers very quickly.